disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
I'm disappointed in it.
Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend Mr. BDA. I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one. In this episode, oh, by the way, Butch, are you there?
Yep.
All right, sorry. I'm having trouble here. You know what? Let's cut the music here real quick. First of all, I'm having trouble with my mic again here. It's getting very low again. So I'm gonna have to disconnect the microphone. But I don't see Gonzalo here on the for the invite.
I'll get him.
All right, you invite them. Meanwhile, give me 2 seconds. I gotta disconnect my microphone. For some reason, it keeps screwing up on here.
I hear you fine. But
Keep us
anyways.
entertained, man. No, you don't hear me fine. Trust me.
Okay.
Keep us entertained.
Okay. Let's see who's in the chat. Triple JJJ, The Hand History Vault, Lemieux Loffy, Buddy Aces, Saint Brit, T Tone Toledo 1965, Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. Did I say Box? Box already there. Buddy Aces, Box 88, and The Punisher. Oh, and Rhino.
That's right.
Guys, welcome to the show. All right. Oh, yeah, it sounds louder.
Yeah, I don't know something's going on, man. I've been trying to figure out exactly why the volume all of a sudden goes low and it stays low. But anyway, thank you for taking over for those 2 minutes. 2 seconds. We also have Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, Mr. BDA Bucho?
Hey, good to have you on board, man. Good to have you on board. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Triple JJJ, Buddy Aces, Pink Panther, The Hand History Vault, Unrivaled Boxing Talk, T-Tone Toledo, Saint Brit, Bay Area Boxing, and many more to come, I am sure. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be having a special guest later tonight in about 8 p.m., 8:05, maybe a little bit more. Jose Benavidez, trainer of David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Jr. He's going to be joining us. We're going to chat with him for about, hopefully half an hour, depending on if he's too busy or he has to go. And so, guys, get some questions ready too if you want to ask him some things about what's next for his fighters or some of his training past, how he got into boxing, how he got his kids into boxing, and what's next for the future in terms of expanding maybe. And I want to ask him if he trains any amateurs too. I mean, because Gonzalo, you said that he was training, right, earlier today.
Yeah, he's really dedicated to the training. He eats and sleeps and he breathes boxing.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, every time I called him, he's just like immersed in the training thing, and he said he don't even know how to like operate anything like technology wise, and he just only knows boxing.
Well, listen, he's not the only one, man. I mean, every time we gotta get some new technology here, I always gotta ask Bucho how to do it. When it comes to the streaming and all that, I mean, Bucho's the one that takes care of all of this. So yeah, I mean, he's David Benavidez. Jose Benavidez is not alone. By the way, I think I have to keep calling him Jose Benavidez Sr, right? Because Jose Benavidez, Jr. would
boxing too.
Yeah, but do they? I don't ever remember. Maybe I'm eating too many shots to the head, but I don't remember people calling Jose Benavidez Jr. during the fights. Or maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, listen, while we are here waiting for Jose Benavidez Sr. to show up, let's talk a little bit about boxing. I mean, I know finally, month of February, things are starting to pick up just a little bit. We're getting some good fights announced. Finally, Inouye's fight has been scheduled against Casimero. What's his name? Casimero? I always forget how to say it, man. The Filipino puncher.
I'm actually looking for it, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, man. 2 punchers. By the way, Casimero, Casimero, yeah. He knocked out Zolani Tete, whom we all thought, well, at least I thought maybe, that he was the second best bantamweight in the world, and if he wouldn't have pulled out of his fight against Donaire, he probably would have made it to the final. But then Casimero came in, ESPN, boom, right hand, drops him. Fantastic, explosive performance. And he seems to be very confident too, which is something he's going to need against Naoya Inoue. What do you guys think?
I think it's a good fight. I mean, he's in a 5 fight winning streak.
Jeez.
Now, some people are criticizing Tete that, who did he really beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, man. A lot of us thought that he should have been in the final. Some people were saying that he was going to beat in Donaire. So, I mean, it was a good win for Casimero, but I don't know. Listen, Inoue, he's a monster, right? So, I don't know what the odds are. What do you think the odds are?
Pretty sure that somebody was going to say something. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I was going to say that I think Okay. Yeah, I'm just checking the messages here. I think that Casinero is probably going to be obviously the underdog, but the odds might just tighten up the closer we get to that fight. Because, I mean, listen, 29 wins, 28 knockouts. In his last couple of fights, it's really where he started. His competition has been getting better, and he still keeps knocking people out. He knocked out Amnat Runoreng, the Thai guy who beat Sushi Ming. I think he fought him twice. I forget if he beat him twice. And he knocked him out. He also beat up what's the guy's name? The British dude. Hold on, I'm gonna look for the name here. Oh, he lost to Moruti Matalain, who is a very good guy, a good puncher, solid boxer. So there's no shame in that. And he's come back since then, and really done some good stuff. Matalain since losing to Donaire. And of course, he also beat. Okay, Charlie Edwards was the guy that he beat up in the UK. And then, of course, the Tete win, which has solidified him and given him that title shot against Inoue. It's going to be a fantastic fight, man. I'm really looking forward to it. But Casimero's going to have to bring it because, like you said, Inoue is a monster. And, Butcher, I don't know about you, man, but we had our doubts about Inoue here on this podcast. I didn't have him in the top 5 pound for pound. But after he beat Donaire, okay, some people actually who were high on him actually dropped in their standing. He dropped in their standing because he struggled against Donaire. But me, it was the opposite. I wasn't 100% sold on him. But the fact that he went to war and showed us that he could come back from taking big shots, that's what leads me to believe that he's got the fire necessary. Because I was wondering, he's knocking everybody out, but if somebody can take his shots and he gives them right back to him with power, what's he going to be able to do? And he passed, man. He really did pass.
Yeah. Listen, Donaire was a guy who was at some point, well, he had a fight at 130.
Right.
And he hurt Walters at some point. So Donaire was really he was always a big guy for the weight divisions in which he dominated.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he's an elite boxer. So he punches really hard. And, it passed the test.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He was hurt in that fight, like you said, and he passed the test. So, listen, I don't think Tete hits as hard as
Donaire.
What's his name again? Yeah.
Donaire, yeah. Donaire. It's interesting because every time I look at Donaire, when he does get stopped, he gets stopped. I mean, the only time he got stopped, I should say, was when he got knocked out by Walters. But even then, Walters had to really give it to him in that fight, landing bomb after bomb. Other than that, Donaire's all his other losses have been by stoppage. So the fact that Inoue couldn't hurt him upstairs didn't surprise me. But what I did like was that he dropped him to the body, and almost. I mean, the fact that Donaire got up and was able to survive and make it to the distance is really indicative of Donaire's experience and heart. But man, I don't see many people standing up to Inoue's power, man. I mean, he is legit. It's not just the power, but it's the punch selection. He hits you from all angles. He's quick to get in and get out. It's just nonstop pressure, man, from him. Really interesting. Also, Bucho, I'm looking here at again, my volume's starting to go low for some reason. So I got an article here from ESPN, from Steve Kim, and it says, which trainer can save the career of Andy Ruiz Jr.? And it says Teddy Atlas, Reynoso, Freddie Roach, Joe Goosen. I think we actually mentioned Joe Goosen as a potential trainer. What do you think while I fix my audio here?
Who can save Andy Ruiz's career? Well, in the chat, who do you think can save Andy Ruiz, if anybody? Because I'm trying to think of a trainer who's like tough. He has a tough type of image. A type of trainer where like his fighters are afraid of him. Because I think that's what Andrew Ruiz need. But at the same time, I also think that, listen, no matter who you get, if you're not interested in becoming if you're not serious about boxing, basically, then it doesn't matter who you have as a trainer. People are saying Robert Garcia is better than all of those. Says Bay Area Boxing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's good, but I don't know if that would be suitable for... What the hell is even Andy Ruiz's style? See, the thing is, he's so fat. I don't even know.
I got a question, Bucho. And actually, yeah, that is a good question that we should ask Jose Benavidez Sr. I mean, what do you? Because his sons, Jose Benavidez and David Benavidez, they've had certain performances where it makes you think that maybe they weren't at their best. And I want to ask him because he's not just a trainer; he's their father. Because some people say, well, some trainers say, well, I can't lead him by the hand. I mean, he's not a little kid; he's an adult, and I can't. In this scenario, this dynamic, it's father and son dynamic. So I'm interested in seeing exactly what Benavidez has to say about that and what he thinks about Andy Ruiz. Like you said, at the end of the day, you can put him in there with the best trainer in the world, but if he doesn't want to train, he doesn't want to train. You know what I mean? It's you either have it or you don't. And Ruiz certainly seems to have the talent, despite his physical limitations, because he's way too fat for a fighter. It would be just something that would be interesting to ask Jose Benavidez Sr. But yeah, man, good point, Bucho. Very good point. By the way, I see people in the chat room asking they get their questions ready. Some of those questions you guys are posting, we're not gonna ask, man. Yeah, I mean, this chat room, Bucho, is
it's out of control, man.
It's out of control. Everybody gets it, man. There's nobody's safe in that chat room. Nobody. St. Britt says, ask him, does Plant win 11 or 12 rounds against his flat-footed son? All right. I'm going to name St. Britt. I'm going to say, we got a guy named St. Britt. He lives in so-and-so, and he's asking you this. So that's what we're going to get to. Also, in the other news, Canadian David Lemieux was supposed to fight in a couple of weeks, Bucho. That's over with. He's pulled out of the fight with a back injury. David Lemieux, his last fight, he got stunned, and he really did struggle. Listen, he's one of, if not the hardest, then at least one of the top 5 hardest punchers in boxing right now. He can end it at any moment. But lately with the injuries, and he always has the same rhythm with his punches. He doesn't change many things up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's up with him, man. Maybe he just wants that one last payday against maybe a rematch with Golovkin, maybe a Canelo fight. And
yeah. Well, he's fighting at 168 also. I mean, this guy's too small for that division.
Too short, you mean?
Too short. Yeah, too short. He's short for that division. He's not getting any younger. Well, I don't know. He really needs to keep those. He really needs to knock out lower level opposition, so he can stay relevant. So we can always say, well, the power is there. You never know what can happen if he fights like an elite boxer. But other than that, I think once he faces an elite boxer, I think it's gonna be like it's always been. It's gonna be losing.
You know what? It's interesting, Bucho, that Lemieux, his last fight. Hold on a second. We got a donation super chat. Michael Stott, aka Dirt and Boxing, says, at Box, at Bay Area, and at St. Britain, at Bucho, and at BDA, and at On Rival. Oh, okay, he's just giving a shout out. All right, Michael, shout out to you, and thank you for your contribution. Lemieux, in his last fight, he fought a very tough guy, man. I mean, he was a tough dude. He wasn't well known, but you could see he was thinking in there. He wasn't intimidated by the punching power, and he really did go at Lemieux. But again, like you said, I mean, can you imagine him being able to get close to a guy like Smith? I don't see it, man. I don't see him getting inside.
Christ, it's true. 6'3". Nah, man. I think he gets stopped.
Because listen.
What do you guys think, people in the chat? What do you think, Lemieux against Callum Smith? How do you see that happening?
Well, Alex Tancado says Lemieux's a great power puncher, but he's got to add some tricks to his bag. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. He's a little bit too limited. Listen, he's a good top guy. Maybe not a super middleweight yet because he hasn't done much there, but he's got some fantastic performances with that punching power of his. But he's got to show us something at 168. Now, he's listed as 5'9.5", Bucho, and that means he's probably 5'9", 5'8.5", and that's super middleweight.
There's some really big super middleweights right now. Talk about David Benavidez. I believe he's 6'2", 6'3" as well. I mean,
he looks like he's 6'3", maybe because he fights more upright. Then you got Caleb Plant, who's about 6'1", I think 6'1". And
yeah, Jacobs just moved up. They list him at 5'11", 6", but he looks big, man.
He looks like he's a solid 6 feet tall, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they still have Ring Magazine still has Gilberto Ramirez at number 3. I thought he moved up to
6'2".
175. But I thought,
Yeah.
anyway, let's say he's Anthony Durrell. I think he's also 5'11 or something. Billy Joe Saunders probably like 5'10, 5'11. Well, he already beat Lemieux.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to put him in there at 168, when Lemieux comes back and feels ready, put him in there against a guy like John Ryder, Anvil Yildirim, or Caleb Truax, just to get him started in the division. Because those are 3 guys that he can beat. And then afterwards, put him in there against one of the tall guys and some of the top guys. But other than that, man, I don't really want to see him jump in. But then again, maybe some people say, why not? He's a big puncher. He's a proven commodity. Put him in there against one of the top guys already. But I get the feeling that even his management doesn't want to do that, because the guy that he was supposed to fight, Robert Talarek, was some guy with a 24 wins, 13 losses record. That was his record. So obviously they didn't have too much. It was more of a tune-up fight for him. And the fact that he got injured, you remember, I don't want to get too conspiratorial here, but sometimes when guys pull out, it's because they're not looking good in training. You know what I mean?
People are still fighting about that fight, John Ryder against Callum Smith. Now Bay Area Boxing saying Rocky Fielding knocked out John Ryder.
Well, that's because Bay Area is trying to do the Canelo connection in there. That's about,
yeah. So Rocky Fielding was this great boxer.
Yeah. Well, Bay Area is always getting into it. To be honest, too, also, though, it's not just Bay Area. Every time Bay Area comes in, some people already start going after him as well. So the Discord, if you guys think the chat room is wild, you should check out the Discord. It really is quite something. Now, I wanted to say something, Bucho. If you look at the I was on the boxing Reddit, subreddit rather. Somebody said, if you look at the top 10 pound for pound list, you barely see any Americans. And I'm thinking, it's true, man. I mean, I remember about 10 years ago, or even more, like if you look at the mid-2000s, there were a lot of Americans. You had Mayweather, Hopkins, Winky Wright. Now, though, you go in there and it's a lot more diverse, which is what the progressives want nowadays. You got Manny Pacquiao, a Filipino. You got Beterbiev, a Russian. You got Estrada, a Mexican, a proud Mexican. Gennady Golovkin from Kazakhstan. Errol Spence, all right, you got one American there. Usyk from Ukraine. Crawford from the United States. You got Inoue from Japan. Lomachenko from Ukraine as well. And then you got Alvarez from Mexico. Which, is this good or bad for boxing? I mean, it's quite exciting, right?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, man. Pretty exciting. Just before I continue, Umar Ahmed says, I would like to come on and issue an apology at some point later once you're free. Thanks in advance. What apology? Who is this guy?
I think this is the guy. I just read about that today. Umar Ahmed. First of all, I think it's a troll account, but it's the guy from the IFL. I think he said something or was stalking. So I don't know what happened. I just heard through the grapevine that was heard through the grapevine. So I'm getting secondhand information here. But apparently something went on that.
Fake account, yeah.
It's got to be a fake account, yeah. Because he was on last night when you were broadcasting too. He kept spamming. Listen, Umar, I don't know if it's a real you or not, but if you keep spamming, you're gonna get kicked out. Because there's one thing I can't handle. That's spamming, man. I mean,
yeah, we had like a fake Sean Newton, a fake 78 Sports, a fake, you name it.
There was a fake Cuz. Remember, a fake Cuz was going around other channels.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, listen, like I was saying about the pound for pound list, it's interesting because 10, 15 years ago, it was all Mexico, Puerto Rico, United States, maybe a couple of Europeans, and when I say Europeans, it was mostly people from the UK. But now, though, the Eastern European front has been opened. The Cuban front has been opened as well. Okay, I'm checking my messages here. And it's now that the European front, the Eastern European front and the Cuban front has been opened. Now, if we compare these new markets at the professional level, which is Eastern Europe and Cuba, obviously Eastern Europe has blown Cuba out the water in the professional ranks, because the Cubans, they don't seem to have that. They have a hard time transitioning to the professional style for some reason. Ugas, it looked like he was, for a while it looked like Lara and Ligandau were going to be the stars, and Ugas was just going to be one guy that could have been or never was. But now, though, the shoe has turned. The tables have turned, rather. He's the one that's in the prime position right now, making a name for himself as a top welterweight, adapted to the pro ranks, and it's Rigonda who's probably on his last legs, and Lara as well. So, but the Cubans have a hard time with that.
It's
now,
the last of the. You remember the last of the Mohicans? This
That's
is
right.
the last of the Cubans, man.
We see a lot of the Ukrainian guys and from that part of the world adopting Mexican or American trainers. So I don't know, like if they remain with the same trainers, or because it's a thing that they can't get those guys to come here, that they'll be more successful than the Cubans. But who knows?
Yeah, man. I mean, by the way, okay, hold on a second. Umar Ahmed says it's the real me. DM me on my Instagram, and I can pop on after your interview. I just want to clear my name. But I don't even know what's going on, Umar. All right, listen. All right, if we have time, maybe we'll butcher. Do we have some time in the schedule? You think, or
for what? For this guy? Man,
Well,
he's the same guy creating the same fake accounts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, Umar,
fuck it,
we
man.
would need some proof that it's the real you, man. Because first of all, I don't even know what you look like. So if you just show
He's
me,
not, man.
if it's some
I don't know
Chinese
who
guy,
this guy is. Just
all right. But if
ignore
some
him.
Chinese guy, I'm not gonna know the difference. Anyway, we got. Oh, sorry, Gonzalo, were you done or?
Yeah, because I was just going to say that Magdaliev kid, he's training with what's his name, Joseph Diaz. Diaz.
Yeah.
The guy, the Timothy Bradley trainer. Yeah.
Yeah, and they seem to
So
be.
I don't
able
know
to...
if it's a thing that they can't bring their coaches over here, or since they're transitioning from the amateurs to the pros, they rather go with the pro trainer.
Yeah, and they seem to be able. They seem to be able to adapt that Mexican style a little bit more and still keep the European, style in there. By the way, Butcher, can you open up the phone lines, or because he's gonna call in at about 8 p.m. I believe.
Yeah, he's probably calling now or something.
Oh, okay. All right. Meanwhile, we got Stu on the line. Stu, are you there?
Yeah, what's happening, boys?
Hey, good to have you on board, man. Hey, Stu, by the way, are you guys available for a second Renaissance tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Yeah, sure.
What should we do? Should we do round 2 of the dreams and maybe take it
there
up?
wasn't the other topic we talked about, remember?
I forget which one it was.
Damn it.
Anyway,
I wrote it down somewhere. Anyways,
we can do the part 2.
We'll have to go back and listen to the show and find out what we was talking about, because we got into a good little topic and then sort of got off it again.
Well, we were going to talk about dreams, and then you guys said, how about if we take it up another notch and start talking about dreams and scary dreams and demons and spirits and all that?
Yeah, I'm all for that. Definitely.
Butcher, are you posting shit?
To any of you guys that want to come and listen to that, I mean, if you can't be open-minded about suggestions or theories, then don't come on here. Come on here and start crying when people are open-minded about ideas. And that's what the channel's about. It's, we're not, none of us here are fucking experts, are we? We're not.
Hold on.
We're not historians. We're not fucking
Butcher,
experts in anything. We just got an opinion.
Yeah.
Butcher, did you post something on the chat room?
Yeah.
What is it?
Second Renaissance, the link.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right, sorry, Stu. Sorry, because I'm
right
paranoid now. Yeah. All right.
So we're talking about open-minded. Listen, it's if you're not open-minded, then don't come on the Second Renaissance. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, and this isn't a university graduates. We're not peer reviewing here a paper or anything like that. I mean, we're just throwing out ideas, considering certain different theories.
Yeah,
and that's about
discussion, isn't it? It's just discussion. Like I said, the thought of if you could go back to the late 60s, or I think it was 69 when they landed on the moon. So say just go back to the 70s. I mean, and suggest the idea that the moon landing was fake. They'd fucking put you in a nut house.
Mm-hmm.
So as time goes on and you start, getting more evidence for certain places, and the internet's a good place if you want to look up for different theories and different arguments, shall we say. So, and that's probably why I'm a bit open-minded. Nothing surprises me anymore. Some of the fucking weird stuff that goes on, nothing surprises me anymore. But yeah, listen, I just want to know what Umar AFL is on the papers for in the UK. I mean, I've just read in the chat that he is. I don't know why. I'm not really a paper guy. I don't read the press anymore. It's a fucking joke. It's all propaganda bullshit. I don't buy newspapers. I don't listen to the radio or watch mainstream news. So what's the crack with Umar then?
I don't know. In the chat, you tell us.
Oh, I thought you knew.
No, there's this guy with a fake account.
Is it? Yeah, fake. No content. He's got no content at all.
Content.
Yeah. But what's the
BDA,
topic
I'll
of the
fix
show
it.
anyway? What's the topic of the show?
We're gonna have David Benavidez' father and trainer.
Jose Benavidez Sr. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask him about his sons. I want to ask him. I want to get a trainer's perspective on Ander Luis too about can he be redeemed?
Who can help him?
Who can help him? Yeah, I mean, who can get him some help, man? He needs an intervention, man.
Yeah, seriously, he does. And like Gonzalo said, he needs to stop hanging around with people who eat like him. You know what I mean? Because I saw when he was in Saudi Arabia, I think he was in the hotel room or something, and obviously we're watching some backstage footage. He's surrounded by guys eating tacos.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy's probably. I mean, come on, he's a fight coming up in like 2 days or something, and these people are eating tacos around him. Come on, man.
I mean, it says that Umar tweeted something when he was 15. I don't know. He hasn't said what it is. I mean, probably. My guess is probably something extreme, isn't it? Death to America, Allahu Akbar.
No, wait a minute.
Something like that.
No, wait a minute. We're not gonna. Next thing you know, Stu's gonna have to issue an apology, man. Come on.
No, but it must be something like that. I don't know what he said, but I mean, when you're dragging up fucking guys' tweets from 15 years old, I mean, the England. Funny enough, the England manager of the female team, Phil Neville. You probably remember Phil Neville, Butcher. Well,
Yeah.
He tweeted something about women's football about fucking 8-9 years ago. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cough, a chest infection, and it come back to haunt him, didn't it? He forgot the tweet. He forgot all about this tweet. It come back to haunt him there. He had to apologise for being feminist because he criticised women's football. Now he's the manager, sort of thing. And they dug it up, and he had to fucking go grovelling on media, apologise for my bigoted views. It was cringe to watch, but it just shows, man, how desperate and apathetic it's become, where you're digging at fucking posts and when the guy was 15 years old. Like I said, even if he did say fucking death to America a lot, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
On Second Renaissance, I got some clips to show you, Stu, that is pertinent to that. I mean, you're really gonna... I'm really curious to get your guys' opinions on some of the clips that I've got. Now, for the moment, we do have boxing. We're waiting for David... David. I keep calling him David. Jose Benavidez Sr. to call in. So, Gonzalo, the lines are open, so if you can tell him or if you're in communication with him, you can let him know about the number and just tell him to call in. But also, meanwhile, while we wait, guys, I wanted to ask you, Stu, before you came in, I was asking Bucho about how if you look at the top 10 pound-for-pound list in the world, there's only 2 Americans now. If you go back 10 years, it was always 3 or 4 5.
And then one of them should be on there. I mean, Crawford's the only one that's fucking... Crawford's the only one that should be on there for me. I don't think Errol Spence I mean, don't get me wrong, Errol Spence is a very good fighter, but I mean, a scraped win against Porter, a win against a half man, half machine, malfunction machine in Kell Brook. Who else is there? We're going to Bundu. Are we going to mention that win? Or do you know what I mean?
No.
I mean, I don't know, man. Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, I'm not even mentioning that fight. It was a ridiculous fight. It was a joke. Should never have been made. Mikey's a joke, full stop. For even taking that fight, thinking he can turn up, con the public. I just thought it was a disgraceful event. So I'm not going to give him credit for that. Very good fighter. Probably the best welterweight in the world. But I don't know, like I said, Terence has proved himself to be a pound-for-pound fighter. Unified a division, undisputed, got up divisions. Two weight champions. Errol hasn't achieved that. So for me, Terence deserves to be there. Errol doesn't. So yeah, I mean, 2 in there. Just showing that it's a worldwide sport now. Back in the day, you'd have looked on the fucking list and the top 20 would have been American, or shoved a few Mexicans in there, but that would have been it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, times are changing, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely,
We're gonna
man.
say there's some manipulation of the rankings. They don't want Americans to be on that pound-for-pound list. There's going to be a lot of conspiracies as to why there's no Americans.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Get ready
man.
for that.
The problem is, right, the Americans have got the talent, but the thing is, because they're protecting them too much. So when they do get shoved in there with a top guy, they're not ready, or they've not been in that situation, so they freeze. If you get what I'm saying, it's just not. It's not experienced enough, and just they fall short, don't they? Let's be real. Even Charlo fell short against a fucking 6-day notice Korobov.
Stu, Dominic Brown in the chat says, seems like not giving credit to black fighters is a theme on this channel.
Yeah, but I thought we said American fighters. That's how.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can't help it if they're all black. And maybe the fucking, maybe the white Americans need to step up a bit. I don't know. I don't know how it works over here. We got a lot of white fighters in Europe. That's just how it works. So, but there's just no white fighters in America. So when I say American fighters, it's not. Did I say black American fighters? No, there's no one else, is there? So it's not a race thing. It's just it's a fact. And let's be real. A lot of these, if you want to go down that road, black Americans just don't cut it. Don't have the stomach. Don't have the will. Don't have the heart. Don't have the desire. Spoiled, entitled, race victims. I mean, I can go on and on if you want, and that's why they're fouling.
I gotta interrupt you. I gotta interrupt you for just a second, Stu, because we do have Benavidez Sr. on the line. David, is that you?
Yes. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is actually Jose Benavidez Sr.
I mean, Jose, yes.
David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez.
Yeah, I keep mixing up the names, man. I keep mixing up. First of all, thank you for calling in, man. I really appreciate it. I don't know how much time you have. Is it okay, like about 25, 30 minutes, if we keep you on the line for that long?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. And I'll try to let you know 10 minutes in advance, so you let us know when you have to go. We know you're a busy guy. We don't want to keep you on too long. Again, thank you for joining us.
No worries.
All right. Again, thank you for joining us, Jose. I got a whole bunch of other people here on the panel too, but this is Mr. BDA, and I want to, again, thank you for coming on. Want to just ask you a couple of...
Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Oh, well, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I want to ask you a whole bunch of questions, but I think it's going to be difficult for 30 minutes. So I just want to have like a regular conversation and see where we go from there. First of all, I wanted to ask you, man, for your opinion, because you're a trainer and you trained 2 world-class boxers and your son. So we were talking earlier about Andy Ruiz, and that's one of the big talking points right now in boxing is, can anybody really get him under control? Because he seems to do what he wants in there, partying, eating, especially in the build-up to one of the biggest fights of his life in the rematch against Joshua. What do you think? I mean, can a trainer really change a guy like that, or is it up to the fighter himself to want to really stay disciplined?
Yeah, I don't think no trainer could change his mind of thinking, especially I'll tell you right now, if I heard that Teddy Atlas is going to train him, I really like Teddy Atlas, I think he's a very motivated guy.
Mm-hmm.
In boxing, I don't think he knows a lot about boxing, don't get me wrong, but in my mind, I think he's a very good motivator. He's a guy that can push a guy to go and win a fight. But Andy Ruiz does not like that. He doesn't like somebody in his ear all the time. With Teddy Atlas, he wants to get control of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That he's always there. He's 24 hours. He's there. I don't think he's going to last with Andy. To be honest with you. But I don't think nobody can change Andy. Andy has to be the one that wants to make that change, and he wants to be the legacy. I think, and that's what my opinion that would be. That I don't think nobody can change Andy. He has to change by himself.
Well, in that line of thinking, I know your son Jose Benavidez Jr. He had a couple of outside of the ring antics himself. Now it's interesting because we've had father-son dynamics before, Papa Trinidad with Felix Trinidad, Shane Mosley with his father, Jack Mosley. Nowadays we have Robert Guerrero with his father, Danny Garcia with his father, Teofimo Lopez with his father. What do you think, in comparison to other trainers, the way you train your sons, that the fact that you're their father and that you've been with them for their whole life, does that make it easier in a way? Does it make it harder? Like, what's your perspective on that?
I had other fighters. I had Letichinen, the one that fought Danny Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
He took his WBC belt from. It's super easy to train other people. Your family, your sons, man, is the hardest thing to do in the whole world, man. Because you got to understand something. You've been telling them what to do since they were born. Eat your vegetables, do your bed, go throw the trash. They just don't want to hear you no more. Sometimes, and they love you. I love them. They love me too. But sometimes, it comes a time where they want to make their own decisions. But unfortunately, when we're young, we make bad decisions. And when we tell them, see, I told you so. They don't want to hear that,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the hardest job in the world, man. But, the thing is, as a father, as a trainer, I gotta separate all that, and in life you gotta change the way you train your sons too, because they're getting older. They're not kids anymore. So you got to make a lot of big adjustments in order to be successful. That's what I believe.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's a learning process too. I mean, you're learning too right now as a trainer too. Like
Exactly.
what works, what doesn't work. Also, I wanted to ask you because I know you, Gonzalo, who was gracious enough to broker this interview. He told me that you were training earlier in the day because right now we're here in Canada, so there's a 3 hour difference. But are you training? Who else are you training besides your sons? Are you training some amateurs too as well, some professionals?
Yeah, I've been only in Seattle for a year, so I opened a little gym now, so it's doing really well.
Oh.
I'm in the process of opening another big gym, 3 times bigger than what I have. Right now, I'm working with Jose Valenzuela, El Rayo Valenzuela. He has 5 fights, undefeated professional fighter. Here in Seattle, I'm also training David. David fights April 18. So I'm ready for his fight to defend his title. And Jose Benavidez Sr. is moving to Seattle as we speak. He's driving from Arizona. He got married. He's having a little girl, like in about 4 weeks.
Oh, good.
So I'm thinking, hopefully he matures, and and that's the other one that we're going to train starting like in a day or two. He's going to start training, and you'll see Junior fighting pretty soon.
Hey, you want to give out the place, the address for the gyms in case anybody in the area is listening and wants to sign up there?
Yeah, it's super easy, man. We're in downtown Renton. It's I don't have the address here with me. I'm sorry. It's just brand new, but it's downtown Renton. You can't miss it. It's the only boxing gym here in downtown Renton. So, and everybody knows me here. I get connected with everybody. I talk to everybody. So it's really easy to find downtown Renton, Seattle.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll try to find the name and put it up there in the description. By the way, people in the chat room already they want to ask you questions. They want to know who is David fighting in April.
Yeah, sure. Well,
yes.
Right now we're supposed to have the mandatory to fight Abney Yildirim, the Turkish guy.
Oh yeah.
But I think he got injured or something happened. So at this moment, they're trying to look for somebody else. A good fighter, somebody that's in the top 10. So we'll know maybe this week, but we are looking for somebody to replace Yildirim.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. Now, the guy that you said that you're training, hold on a second, Valenzuela, is he originally from Los Mochis, Sinaloa?
Yeah, he's born in Los Mochis, Sinaloa. Yeah.
And what's his style like? Is he a puncher, boxer, puncher?
He's when I got him, he's more of a counter puncher. We're trying to work on him to, so he can brawl a little bit and sit on his punches a little bit more. And, so we're trying to make that change right now. So he's struggling a little bit, but I think he's getting better and better every day. So he can have both of the worlds, because sometimes, the counter punchers, sometimes they can be a little bit boring, if you don't throw punches at them, they don't throw anything. So now we're trying to show them how to kill, how to come in, and how to be aggressive, and how to put pressure and so we're trying to work with them a little bit on brawling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting. We were talking about that earlier before you came on the phone, because we were talking about how if you look at the pound for pound list now, there's a lot of Eastern Europeans, and before that you didn't get to see them all that much, and they're transitioning, and like Gonzalo said, a lot of them are they get on there with Mexican trainers, and they seem to really work on turning punches, which is always a must in a professional setting. What do you think about punching power? I mean, can it always be improved just a little bit with technique, even if the guy's not a natural puncher?
Of course. What I think, like Jose Benavidez Sr., he was in the Olympic team in Mexico and the United States. He was, the amateur fighters, when they go to Olympics, they're a little bit more fast. They don't really sit on their punches that much. So what we did, when he was 16, I tried to change that style so he can hurt a little bit. And of course, they could get better. Once they know how to use the mechanism and turn and pivot on the punches, they can create more damage and they can become more powerful. I think that's what Mexicans kind of do a little bit. They turn, they throw those big hooks, those big uppercuts, those body shots, and in European style, it's a little bit more high, a little bit more speed, and some of them they just come with a lot of power, but don't have a lot of head movement. So that's the thing that I think that every trainer should work, and the Mexican people, that's what they do. They work a little bit more to the body, and they work more on sitting on the punches.
Absolutely, man. And if people who watch this channel know, I love me some body punching. Now, I wanted to ask you too, and then I'll let other people ask you questions because I got so many. But when you were training your sons, Jose and David, when did you start realizing, man, these kids can actually make it in boxing? Because it's one thing to think, oh, they're my sons. They're always gonna do the best they can. But when do you start realizing, man, these guys can actually make it to the world-class level?
Well, you can. A lot of people are gonna say, and if you didn't ask Junior and David, I'm never satisfied, man. I don't even think we did any. I haven't done anything yet. There's so much to do. I think I'm very hard on them. Because you gotta stay grounded, man. And really, in reality, what have they done? I think there's a lot more that they could do, but they just gotta stay focused. I think they're still. David's only 23 years old. He's still progressing. You haven't seen everything of what he has. I think, to me, man, we haven't done anything yet, man. We've got to stay focused. We've got to continue working hard. Nothing has changed, Yeah, he won a title. Yeah, he got a two-time world champion. But that's really, in reality, we're barely breaking the ice, man. We got to stay focused. We got to work hard, and we got to continue making history and maybe be undefeated. Undisputed world pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really thought, that they're up there. So. We're still working hard for it.
Can I just ask Senior a question, BDA?
Yes, sure. Go ahead, Stu.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hi, David. I'm Stuart from the UK. Now, I've just come into the room because I just had to leave, so I don't know what's been said. But I just wanted to ask you a question because obviously I've been watching your son fight for a while now. A very dangerous guy, and one of the top guys, definitely in the super middleweight division. If Eddie Hearn rang you up tomorrow, offered you Callum Smith at the O2 Arena in the UK, what would you say?
Well, if he's listening to me right now, why don't you call me today, not tomorrow? We'll take that fight. That's a fight that I did talk to Eddie Hearns when we were in California, and that he wanted to do that fight. I said, "Whoa, that's the fight we need," because I always believe to be the best, you got to fight the best. You can't be around and fighting guys that are not going to give you a name. You got to fight the guys that are up there. In order for you to make.
Would you be willing to? Would you be willing to go to the UK though? Because obviously the UK doesn't have the greatest reputation in America for decisions.
We're willing to go anywhere. We're willing to go to Mexico, the UK.
That's what I want to hear.
Saudi Arabia. Anywhere. I think that's how you make history. You go to their house, you look even more impressive. And you get the respect of all the fans over there too. So that's why I tell you we haven't done anything. We're working hard. We're trying to get up there. We're trying to make history. In order to do that, you got to have exciting fights. You got to fight. You got to give what the people they want, exciting fights, in order to become one of the best.
Yeah, that's it. Did you catch his fight with John Ryder at all?
Yes, I did catch it. He did not really impress.
And how did you have that go? Who did you have winning that?
I think he did enough to win. I don't think he looked that good. But he won. No. He won, but I don't think he looked that good, to be honest with you, But like I said, styles make fights, I don't know what happened. Maybe he got a fight before, but I can't go by that. He's a very respectful fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter. It would not be an easy fight for us. We would never underestimate him. We will work hard. And hopefully he looks like that, like how he looked that night.
Well, he gets taken out. David, if he fights like that, against your son, he gets taken out in devastating fashion. The problem with Callum Smith is he takes too long off, and he fights too many. I don't like to use the word cans, but I'm going to cans. He's just fighting guys that are just not at that level. So when he's thrown in there with a guy that's rough and rugged and going to come to fight, he wasn't ready for John Ryder. His timing was completely off, because he's not been in the fights that he needs to be. Do you know what I mean? His fitness was not there. His sharpness, his speed was gone. Rubbish performance.
Exactly. Everything that you saw, I saw. So even though before I wanted the fight, now I even wanted more. What do you think Canelo wants that fight? I mean, I don't know if the age is catching up to him, or I just don't understand what happened. Maybe, like I said, maybe he got sick a little bit. But like I said, if he comes the same way, that he will make David look super phenomenal.
Yeah. But the thing is with Callum Smith, he can lull you into that sense of feeling that you're going to go in there and beat him up, and he puts on a world-class performance. He has it in him. You saw it against Groves. I mean, where he was tremendous that night. You know, he's got that world-class performance in him because he's definitely a world-class fight. You can see the talents there. I think if his mind's right, he's done it right in camp, he's going to be very dangerous.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A bad fighter can make you look really bad. A good fighter can make you look like a superstar. Does it make sense? So it all depends who you have in front sometimes too. You know, if sometimes, you know, when you're getting hit and you've been asked to fight, you know, that's when the best comes out of you, I think. So I think that would make a good fight with David and him. You know, I think it will be, I guarantee it will be fight of the year, because once he starts feeling those punches, he's going to wake up and then he's going to push himself, and then David's going to push himself. And I think it's going to make it into a good fight.
You know what? I also wanted to, by the way, Gonzalo, do you have any questions for Jose?
Yeah. I have a question for Jose Benavidez Sr. Okay, I know that David and Jose are aggressive combination punchers. With Jose and his comeback, is he going to have to reinvent himself a little from that style in order to be successful in the elite level with the leg injury and all? And what percent of the recovery
Well, you know,
does he
this
have
is
now?
what happened. You know, if you see Dave Jr., you know, if I understood your question, when he fought Terrence Crawford, they offered me the fight, and I told Junior, let's not get that fight. You know, you're not ready. Your leg is still messed up. Let's get 1 or 2 more fights, and then we fight for the title. You know, he says, no, I want this fight. I want to beat this guy. I want this guy. And I had to do that fight. You know, but if you know, that was the biggest fight of Terrence Crawford. It broke records, you know, on views, and I think Junior gave him the toughest fight of his career, you know, because he wouldn't come in, you know, he just got careless a little bit in the last round, you know, they both throw an uppercut. Junior got caught with it, but it was the 10 seconds, you know, before the fight was ended, you know. I think it was a great fight. I think he did better than what I thought he was going to do. I was so afraid that his leg was going to bend and break or something, you know. That was my biggest fear. You know, but I was impressed the way he looked.
Yeah, he did look good.
You talking about Jose's performance against Crawford?
Yeah, that's what he was talking
about. That was the actual fight. That was the actual fight where I saw that Terrence Crawford was a beatable guy. You know, I mean, I saw that. I didn't think he was as good as what people tell me, because I thought Jose out-jabbed him. I thought he was winning exchanges in the pocket at times.
Okay.
And I thought Jose was outboxing him at times. I just, like you said, the leg was nowhere near ready to be in a fight with Terrence Crawford by the looks of it.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, I mean, he did a really good job. I never thought about. I mean, he beat us. No, you know, he beat us good. You know, and I'm not complaining about that. Junior was not 100%. You know, he was maybe like 60. 70 at the most %, and I know that, and everybody knows that. I didn't want to get that fight, you know.
Yeah, the thing is, when he was strong on his feet, that's when he was doing well and winning. But the latter rounds, the stamina started to go. His legs started to give underneath him, and he wasn't he couldn't plant his feet. He couldn't get off on the back foot properly. He was just struggling. Every time he was getting hit, the leg was buckling.
Exactly.
I mean, it was you know, nowhere. He should never have been in that fight, really.
Yeah, and you know, I wouldn't change anything. You know, all the tools that he has, so they're real good. You know, I think that now, I think, you know, just you know, try to work a little bit hard. You know, the leg should be healed by now. So now I think that the real thing comes now. You know, he's about to get here tomorrow. We're gonna start training. You're gonna see a lot about Junior, a lot more, and you'll see a different Junior. You know. Hopefully it didn't affect him. The loss, I mean, he didn't get knocked out, you know, like passed, you know. So we'll see how he responds to this. You know, I think it's gonna make him more hungry now. He's having a little baby, so I think he's gonna be a more dangerous fighter. I'm hoping, you know.
By the way, Jose, I wanted to ask you in regards to the Crawford fight, because you had a bit of a wild upbringing yourself, and I get the impression that you're good at reading people. What is your opinion of Terrence Crawford and the fact that he seems to get into trouble outside of the ring, and he seems to be, you know, he mugs people in the ring, he kind of clowns around when he's beating a guy up. Do you think he's got a bit of a mean streak inside of him, and is that a good thing in boxing, or is that something that you look and you go, you know what, I don't really respect that?
I don't really respect that. You know, I come from the streets. You know, I got a lot of respect for everybody. People give me respect. I give them respect, you know. You know, he talked a lot of stuff, you know, and Junior really put him in his place, you know. You know, what can I tell you? You know, I mean, I mean, like I said, you know, this is a sport of boxing, you know, where actually people train to destroy other people, you know. I mean, it's simple as that, you know. I mean, everybody is trying to go there and knock everybody out, you know, in order to look good and go to the next level, you know. So, I mean, I think he just uses that, you know, to scare people and do this and do that, you know. That's not my style. But, you know, they make us be like that, you know, because, I mean, I'm not going to let people talk, you know. I respect everybody. But when you start talking, you know, I mean, you know, I think he's in a bad position with, you know, right now, you know. I mean, he doesn't have any fighters, you know, and I'm sad because I want to see him with a good fighter, but he's not even fighting nobody, you know. I don't know, you know.
Who would you say was the best welterweight in the division?
Now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah,
I mean,
right now. Who would you say was the best guy?
You know, I will give it to Earl Spence. You know, I will give it to.
Yeah.
I
too.
mean, I don't. There's really not a lot right now. You know, he's up there. You know, like I said, don't get me wrong. You know, he's undefeated. You know, I just think that he hasn't fought good fighters. You look who he fought, Lemieux. You know, who the hell is
the
that
Diva
guy,
division.
You know?
It's I call it the Diva division, where they don't want to fight each other. They're all spoiled and titled fighters, and it's just, you know, I'm tired of the 147 division. To be honest with you, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of talking about it. It's lost its spark for me when Manny and Floyd were dominating it. It's not that division anymore. It's just full of divas that don't want to fight each other.
I would even give it to Manny now. You know, he's an
yeah,
exciting fighter.
We forgot about Manny. Probably beat all them
guys.
That's the sad thing about it.
You know, I mean, I mean, Earl Spence. Who's Earl Spence? Really, he's boring. You know, I mean, yeah, he's winning. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know Jesse Vargas. I don't even know. He goes up and down. He's a boring fighter. You know, I mean, Terrence Crawford, to me, he's a boring fighter. He's not an exciting fighter. You know, he does enough to win. He doesn't risk. You know.
Terrence Crawford gets knocked out.
The
minute he fights someone with power, Terrence Crawford with serious power,
exactly.
he's getting knocked out.
That's what I'm thinking. You know. I mean,
he's easy to hit, bro. Like so easy to hit Terrence Crawford.
All right. Also, I want to Jose... Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Terrence Crawford, to me, he's like an amateur, you know. I mean, he's undefeated, but who has he fought? You know, I mean, yeah, like you said, whenever he fights somebody really good, you know, somebody up there that is known by power, he's gonna get knocked out, you know, or I mean, but right now, who's he fighting? You know, I don't even know who's he fighting his next fight. Some other guy unknown, you know, I don't know.
All right, now I got Gonzalo. I don't know if you have a question or otherwise.
I got one more. Jose, where does the nickname El Bandera Roja come from? I was always curious about that.
That's an interesting question.
You know, a lot of people ask about that. You know, El Bandera Roja. You know, our promoter, Samson Lakowicz, he gave him that name. One day he said, "Hey, I got the name for David. It's a good name." He says El Bandera Roja. I'm like, what? I don't like that name, man. And I talked to David, and I told him, oh man, no, David doesn't like that name, you know. And he said, no, wait, listen, let me tell you, there's a story behind that, you know. El Bandera Roja means danger, means blood, means warrior. Imagine when David's fighting, you know, in a big fight, and everybody has little red flags, you know. That means, hey, you're stepping into danger. I'm like, oh shoot, I fell in love with the name, you know, and David too, you know, when he said that, you know. But that's how everything started with Sansom is the one that came up with the name.
That's interesting, man.
That's interesting. I thought about the bull ring and bullfighters myself, but that's kind of close.
No, that's why, you know, every time we come to a fight, everywhere we go, we have flags, because we want people to know about David. David's here, and we're gonna like going to the moon. We're gonna put our flag here, you know. So that's why, you know, you'll see us with red flags everywhere.
All right, Jose, we're almost at the 30-minute mark. It went by fast, but I want to just take a couple of questions from the chat room, if that's okay, to get people a chance to ask you. Somebody wants to ask you if David, your son, super 168-pounder, received an offer from Canelo. Did he ever receive an offer to fight Canelo, or is that just a rumor?
You know, it was, you know, when he first got his belt, they gave me an offer to fight him. You know, when he was young, he was 20 years old. He got the WC belt. there was an offer because of what he decided to sign with Top Rank. There was a little bit of problem, so that stopped the deal because they thought it was going to go sour because of the suits and all that things, So they decided to back up, but there was an offer when he was 20 years old. He thought he could beat him at that age, and I think he could have, because David was super young at that time. But yeah, there was an offer, but I wish there was an offer now.
Well, maybe you never know, man. All you got to do in this business is keep winning, and the opportunities start lining up. Also another
exactly.
Another person in the chat wants to ask you, what active fighter would you like to sign up and train if you ever had the opportunity?
Man, there's so many, right now, man, there's just somebody I would really love to sign, that is connected. I mean, people don't like him. It's Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, I mean, there's so many little fighters out there, man, that are coming up, that are good fighters. I mean, what's his name? The first one that I said, he's very known in the social media world.
Oh, Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia. Virgil Ortiz looks like he has the goods, man. That guy, I would definitely, I think he's going to be a world champion, no doubt,
Yeah, man, he looks like he's gonna be a fucking. You look at him physically, and you don't think, he's got almost no definition, but man, he can don't pay attention to how he looks. Look at how he punches and his skills and his control of distance. It really is good. Also, I wanted to ask you, one of the people that are talking about, because we asked you about Callum Smith. The other guy that most likely could face your son David is Caleb Plant. What do you think about Caleb Plant? What do you think makes him a tough fighter, and what do you think might make him tailor-made for your son, if they ever fought?
Well, I like the way he talks. I like his skills. I think that could definitely be a really, really good fight for David, because David, as you've seen, he's a monster. He's a brawler. But a lot of people they haven't seen. There has no need yet to box and show people boxing skills right now, but he does have a lot of boxing skills. I've been training him since he was 2 years old, but right now everything's working really well, going in and taking people out and putting the pressure. We haven't had, to box around or counter people. I don't know if it makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
People have, we go there and we go to war. We want to give the people what they want. And if we fight Caleb Plant, guess what? We're not going to change anything. We're going to try to bob and weave, try to go to the body, break that body, and go to his head, He's very slick. He's very smart. But I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think he has the heart. But that's what I think. That's what I think, Once
gets hit a lot for me. I think it's a bit of an illusion of calling him slick. I don't think he's slick, really. I think it's a bit of an illusion with him. He looks quite tricky and awkward, but he gets hit a lot. Look at his face after every fight. I mean, you don't get marked like that. You don't get hit. So for me, I've got David winning that one quite comfortably. That's how I've got that one going.
Yeah, Uzcategui, like in the 8-9 round, he decided to let his hands go. He messed him up really bad, But then I don't know what happened to Uzcategui, But Uzcategui did not throw anything, No.
Uzcategui, I think, got a bit overhyped over a win over Andre Durrell. And anyone that listens to this show knows my feelings on Andre Durrell. Very talented guy, but just doesn't have the stomach and doesn't have the heart. We'll fold in a heartbeat.
I tell you right now, I won that fight. I tell you right now, that's the fight that we really want. Not the Canelo fight, not anything else. We want Caleb Plant. That's a fight that, would actually take us to the next level. And, I mean, he's undefeated. I think I think we could beat him, I mean, he's not going to be an easy fighter, because he moves a little bit. If he's going to give us a little bit of trouble, we're going to cut the ring, we're going to catch his body, and little by little, we'll take his legs away, and then, we'll put him out. But that's the fight that, we really, really want,
Yeah, I think he's quite. I think if you walk onto one of his shots, I think you could be in trouble. He looks like he's got a bit of pop behind him, and he looks like he knows how to throw it. So he's definitely a dangerous guy. But I just think David will be a bit too strong for him. The work rate is going to be too much. And
all right,
like you said, I don't think he fancies it.
All right, Now, Jose, we don't want to take up more of your time, but just before you go, somebody came up with 5 questions. So via the super chat. So he wants to know. First question: what division is in Ducking Fighters? Like, what do you think? Which division do you think is?
What division? What? I'm sorry.
What division are the fighters? What's the best division where everybody's fighting each other and they're not ducking?
Shit, right now I think 154, I think, and 168, I think is the division that's kind of strong right now in the heavyweights, because of Deontay Wilder and Thousand Fury, and Ortiz. I still like Ortiz, but I think those are the hottest divisions right now: the heavyweight, super middleweight, and 154s maybe. 160, I don't even know 160. I don't, but I could say that too. Maybe the 162, but I don't. The Charlos maybe. I don't know.
All right. Second question is: who is Jose's number 1 Latino trainer right now? Who's your yeah? Would
Latino
you say
trainer right now?
Yeah. Would you say?
I will give it. I'm so proud, man. I just want to mention this. I was so happy and so excited, to be nominated Trainer of the Year for the WBC. And when I see Chepo Reynoso and I see Lomachenko's dad, man, oh my God, just being with those guys, I don't even compare myself to these guys, I have a lot to do still, but just being, with those guys, man, it makes me super happy. But I think that Chepo Reynoso deserves to be the Trainer of the Year because he has the best fighter in the world, the face of boxing, I think, and then I would probably go with Lomachenko's father,
Yeah, that's a good list, man. Also, he says, Michael also wants to know, do you think, I don't understand this, do you think more white guys should be boxing in America? Do you think more white guys?
Definitely, man. Why not? I think we need more white people, because, imagine if there was a good white fighter, man, that would be super, super interesting, and why not,
Absolutely. And
we've got plenty in Europe we can lend you.
All right. And his last question is, do you train females over at your gym?
I train everything, man. I train females, little kids, old guys, I have a guy that I'm training that he's 65 years old, bro.
Oh.
I train a kid that's 3 years old, females, I train everything. Whoever thinks, I can help, to me it's a passion. It's something I really love, man. I'll train whoever, man. It's a challenge for me to train anybody, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen, man, that great talking to you, Jose. Really interesting. We didn't even scratch the surface, man. When you have the time,
before he goes, ask him who's got the big one coming up, Wilder Fury. I just want to know quickly before he goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Last question, Jose. Wilder Fury. Who do you have in that one?
Man, I'm really excited for this fight, man. I think, the last fight, I'll be honest with you, I think Fury won that fight, in my opinion,
Yeah,
it was an exciting fight, man. I don't know how he got up from that big punch from Deontay Wilder, but now this time I think I'm going to go with Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder, I think he's been a little bit busy, more active, and, his confidence is bigger. And that guy, man, really convinced me, he's been knocking everybody out. I don't know, man. I think at this time, I think I'm going to give it to Deontay Wilder, I think. And I think he's going to knock him out by the 8th round, I think. But don't get me wrong. I love Fury, man. I think he's very exciting. He's very fun. And I can't wait to see this second fight, man.
All right. Well, listen, Jose, thank you very much for speaking with us. I wish you could, let us know next time when you can come back on. Because, like I said, we didn't even scratch the surface. We got a lot of questions for you. And again, thank you for joining us.
Definitely. No, anytime, brother. Anytime. Junior's getting here back tomorrow. He's going to move here to Seattle, Washington. I'm training David. Maybe next week, whenever you guys have chance, I'll give you some updates of really what's going on, where he's going to fight, and all those updates, man. You let me know whenever. I'm happy to be here with you guys, and I really enjoyed the show, man, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And I want to say to everybody, thank you so much for the support, and we're going to continue working hard, man. We haven't done anything. We're just simple people, staying grounded, hard work, and hopefully we could give you guys good fights, good exciting fights.
That's what I like. The fact that you said that we haven't done anything yet. You've got Teofimo Lopez's dad going on. I'm not saying that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's achieved nothing.
We haven't even touched the surface, buddy.
Right. No, it's true, man. It's true. And by the way, I know it's, Jose, it's not easy, training people and keeping them consistent with the performances, especially if you, I don't know if you have if you work part-time or if you're working full-time now as a trainer, but it's not easy keeping a lot of these guys in shape and what?
No, man. You know what? My schedule. I start at 6 in the morning and I go home at 8 p.m. Brother.
Whoa.
This is how much I love the boxing. You know, the thing is, I got David on certain times. You know, where he gets his alone time. You know, and then I start training with my normal people. It's just, to me, man. You know, like I said, we haven't done anything, man. You know, I want to thank God for the opportunity to give me another day, and I just want to get better. I just want to get good, man, one day, and I want to also make history. You know, and by doing that, you gotta work hard, man. And every day I learn, and I don't know what it is, but I just keep learning every day, man. I just so motivated,
I can't predict the future, but I can't predict the future. But I've seen your son fight at 23 years old. Matter of time before, like I said, there might be a time that he actually has a defeat. It'll make him a better fighter. But there'll be a time where he holds that belt, and you know, a few of them around his waist. He's going to be a very, very good fighter. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be there eventually, my friend.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And like I said, once again, thank you for all the people. Thank you to the media and everyone for all the support and being there and for believing in us.
That's right. Yeah, man. Okay. Listen, again, it's only a matter of time, like Stu said, and you sound like you're one of the real ones, one of the people that really love boxing, lives it and breathes it. So we want to wish you good luck in all your endeavors coming into the future, and we'll talk to you again next time, right, when we have the chance.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you again, Jose. All right, so that was Jose Benavidez Sr. I was going to say Junior. Yeah, and I called him David in the beginning of because I was so confused with doing everything at the same time.
That's why I called him David. Yeah. And everyone's giving me stick for it. It's your fault.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's people. Yeah, let's blame it on the chat room. Yeah, it's chat room. It's your fault that we get the names mixed up. But anyway, that was Jose Benavidez Sr.
It's the title. It says Jose there.
Shut up, Bucho. Anyway,
I asked you the title, Bucho, and you never told me.
What?
Anyway,
Go back and when I came on, I said, "What's the title?" You never told me.
I think that the topic was the
anyway.
Same thing.
Listen. Hey, really good talking to Jose. I mean, I can't thank him enough for coming in here and giving us a moment of his time. And I want to thank Gonzalo too, because he's the one that set this all up. Gonzalo, again, thank you, man. You really help out with the show here with Andrade.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right.
Gonzalo's the Al Heyman of interviews. He gets them all, man. He sits in his little room in the Philippines and he's getting all these links, man. What's going on here, man?
I think Gonzalo.
Yeah, always good to have people from the boxing world on, and that's the sort of people you have to surround yourself with if you want to get to the top. I've been fucking preaching it since I've been coming on this show. You can be the best talent in the world if you surround yourself with tossers and bums. Then you're going to be dragged down with them. And this is the thing, Andy Ruiz. I have sympathy for Andy Ruiz's trainer, but he, at the end of the day, he must have been very weak and just didn't have any self-respect and morals as a trainer. You've got to be willing to fucking let the paycheck go. You've got to be willing to let them fucking go, man. If they're not working. Do you know what I mean?
And, like Abel Sanchez. Wasn't he working with Ruiz and he just said fuck off. And you know, he could have kept Andy Ruiz with him and he could have got a few paychecks, right? Having a Mexican heavyweight. But he said fuck it. I mean, this guy is gonna get trained. He's gonna take me down with him.
Yeah.
He's gonna tarnish my reputation.
Yeah, of course. That's what makes the. I mean, so like I've given Abel Sanchez a bit of stick recently because I thought his tactics have been very wrong. I think he leaves a lot of his fighters in the gym, if you get what I'm saying. When they get out there and fight night, they're fucking shot to pieces. They've been fucking taken to the trenches in training camp, which is the wrong way to go about it. I think he's overworking them. He's a bit one-dimensional. So I do have my problems with Abel Sanchez, but like I said, the reason he is who he is because he's got morals. You know, he could sit, if you're not going to come in and work hard and stick by the rules, then fuck off. Don't matter what you're paying me. And that's you see so many trainers, don't you, just hanging on to the coattails of the paycheck. Oh, you know, not even allowed to fucking wrap the gloves and stuff, not wrap the hands and stuff. You know, just in the shadows, waiting to hold the pads and the spit bucket. And no time for them fucking trainers at all.
Well, you know what? It's interesting though. That's why I liked Jose Benavidez Sr.'s honesty, because I asked him about his sons and about what it takes as a father and a trainer. It's a different dynamic and what it takes to motivate your fighters. And I'm thinking, you know, with a guy like Ruiz, if you're a trainer and you have to be running after your fighter, motivating him to train, then that means he's probably never really gonna get to. He's gonna reach a plateau at a certain point. Because I mean, can you imagine Juan Manuel Marquez, Bernard Hopkins, Lomachenko? Can you imagine those guys waking up in the morning and saying, you know what, I'm gonna skip running today, or I'm gonna skip training like Chavez Jr. did? I mean, can you imagine that?
Yeah, exactly, BDA. It's no coincidence that when you're seeing most of the top fighters in the world, they're the ones that work the hardest. I mean, say what you like about Canelo Alvarez, he's constantly fighting, constantly in the gym, works the hardest. Lomachenko the same. Fucking Anthony Joshua, another one. It didn't work out right. He got destroyed, so he went back to the drawing board. Fucking worked very hard to get that win and his belts back. You know that's what it takes. It takes fucking dedication and will to win. Talent's not everything. Trust me. When you go look through soccer or football, American football, the amount of talent that don't make it would probably equal the talent that does. It's just some of them have got more will to go and like Gary Neville. Gary Neville was a dedicated guy. That's why he had fucking 100 caps for England. The guy couldn't kick a football straight, for fuck's sake. But sometimes if you've got the heart and will, it gets you so far. And same in the boxing ring. But when these guys haven't even got that, you've got your trainers who are weak and pathetic as it is, that can't get you in the gym. You're turning up on the night, it's not there. And people forget about you when you have a bad performance. I mean, look at Andy Ruiz. He's building his career. He's gone from the top to the fucking bottom very quickly, isn't he? After one performance.
Yeah, man. Listen, boxing is not a sport that forgives. You can't cheat in boxing. Even if you're the most talented guy out there in the world, if you're not training, you're gonna end up fighting somebody that trained his ass off, and you're gonna peter out after 6 rounds, and he's gonna keep on going strong. And that's the ring is the place where the truth comes out. It's not a cliche, man. It's for real. So all these guys, I think they can become all-time greats, but they hate actual training. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're never going to be an all-time great if you don't like training. It has to be inside of you already. Otherwise, you're just biding your time, you know. But yeah, so that was Jose Benavidez Sr. Really interesting guy. Like I said, we didn't even scratch the surface. So yeah, it's hopefully we get more. We'll get another chance to speak with him in the near future. By the way, Butcher, did you send me what? Okay, first of all, it wasn't even the real guy in the chat room, right? The guy from IFL, because he seems to be gone now.
Yeah, no. No.
I mean, no one's actually said what Umar's meant to have said. They've said, oh, he said this, he said that when he was 15, but at least tell us what he fucking said.
What did he say? BDA sent you the tweet. Mark sent me the tweet, and I don't understand what the fuck it said, man. Dippers? Bin dippers?
Ben
what the hell
dippers.
Is that?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay. Well, who's he referring to?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, anyway, let's move on because I don't even know what's going on, man. I'm not going to get into something I don't know about.
He's on about Liverpool supporters, basically Scousers. They're called bin dippers because back in the day they were known as chavs and fucking always on the dole and they'd steal your wheels. It's a stereotypical thing they talk about. It's not 100% true, but you know. If you go to Liverpool, don't be surprised if you come out and your fucking wheels are on bricks or something. It's that sort of place. So, and it's always been that. So they get called the bin dippers from the Man United fans and other fans. And I think he's obviously a Man United fan, I think, Umar, isn't he? Or he probably or a London club fan. And that's what they call the Liverpool fans. So that's probably what it is. But is it really something to be worried about and get all offended? But what the fuck is wrong with society these days? A good job I ain't working for fucking coon cats because I would have said scouse wankers or something. Do you know what I mean? I'd have been even worse. But you know,
it's sensitivity.
This is why half the time I turn my fucking Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, good for you, man. Yeah. No, it's true, man. It's true.
Because when I turn it off, I can't get fucking notifications. I don't want all this. I mean, I can't go anywhere without seeing some fucking poor fucking creature that's going to be extinct soon, or some bear that's being mistreated, or a dog, or some kids that's got an eye infection in Africa. Everywhere I go on the telly, they're trying to get money out of me. They're trying to guilt trip me. Oh, it's just a depressing world. You go on the news and it's even more depressing. Refugees crossing the fucking the Red Sea and all sorts. I don't know, man. I'm just sick of misery everywhere I go. So I try to turn the Wi-Fi off and I try to stop watching the TV. But then I come on here and I get misery, but with you lot, don't I? So,
yeah, someone just called you a Crawford hater.
Oh, go. So what if I am? Yeah, I am. I've got a fucking dartboard with his fucking head on it.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, we can criticize Crawford now because we can criticize anybody because as soon as you do, there's a fan of that boxer that's gonna get pissed off. So what are we supposed to say? Like, what are we supposed to do here?
Yeah.
I can't criticize Ruiz. I can't criticize this guy. Come on.
By the way, we got this weekend we got Gary Russell Jr. making his yearly appearance against some guy that I haven't heard of. But people that know boxing are telling me that the guy he's fighting might just be tough. Apparently, the odds are a little narrower now than they were before. You also got Guillermo Rigo now on the undercard. So I mean, it's not the worst card in the world, but it's nothing to get excited about. Also on the zone, you got Kell Brook taking on Mark DeLuca. Again, his opponent, I don't know who Mark DeLuca is. He seems to have a good enough record: 24 wins, one loss, 13 knockouts, and his only loss, he actually avenged it. So he looks like at least he knows how to box a little bit. Good fundamentals. What do you guys think? Are you guys?
Well, just put it this way: I'm looking at a 50-stone woman stripped naked is probably about as exciting as watching Kell Brook right now. So just don't feel nothing. You said the name Kell Brook, nothing happened. No feelings, just nothing. This guy, he's got so much to do to build. It's like one of them fucking. It's like when your wife cheats on you with 4 different guys. You're not just gonna. Well, you're not gonna. Any man with any credibility never have a bat. But even if you do, you're not just gonna fly back in there with the flowers and the fucking perfume, are you? You're gonna be fucking taking it, fucking slowly, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah, sorry, Gonzalo.
Rigondao. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, before you go on, we got to give a shout out to Pete, who just donated with a super chat, and he says, Ruiz used to train with Abel Sanchez. I can imagine those two squaring off in the kitchen of that house in Big Bear for all it takes. Yeah, I can imagine. That must have been a sparring session right there, man, between those two. All right, shout out
Abel
to Pete,
Sanchez comes across as a guy. You know, he's probably got dead bear's fur as his fucking bed sheets or something.
Yeah, Abel Sanchez, man. I mean, he loves to eat. I was watching that video where he's just stuffing tacos. I mean, listen, he's a good enough dude and everything from what and a good trainer. But yeah, man, he, like I always say, he needs to stop tucking those shirts in. If you're gonna have a gut, don't tuck your shirt in. Don't pull your pants up.
I mean, Abel dresses like he's fucking fresh off the boat when Castro sent all the prisoners to America. You look like one of them.
He dresses like the Greek guy.
He looks like he should be from fucking Miami, not fucking Big Bear.
All right, so sorry, Gonzalo, you want to say something about you were excited for Rigondao?
Rigondao. He's excited.
Yeah, because last time he sat in the pocket and he exchanged punches, a lot of people were saying on the chat that, maybe they thought that his legs were gone and that's why he was doing that. So I'm interested to see how he's going to perform. Is it in fact that his legs are gone, or he just decided to trade it with the guy that he knew he was going to be able to knock out? But we'll see.
Yeah, man, listen,
that's most fights these days, isn't it? One guy knows he's going to win.
Well, listen, hopefully he gets knocked out then.
You know what he said? He said
No,
he wants to.
For real, how old is the guy?
He's 45, man. He's gonna be almost 50.
Yeah,
He says
exactly.
he wants to. He says this fight is gonna be the springboard for a second renaissance for him, like a second win in his career. He seemed. Listen, the fact that he was.
He had so many chances. Why
Exactly,
now? Why
man.
should we believe in him now? How many chances did he get?
Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Yeah?
Rigondao. Now he's saying he's gonna rejuvenate his career. Like we're supposed to give this guy another chance. He wasted his whole career after that Donaire fight. He didn't do jack fucking shit. He was putting the Cotto Canelo undercard, remember? So he could
that's true.
put on they put him against a guy who, let's be honest, was a bum and was supposed to get knocked out. He threw 7 punches per round. So listen, I don't trust this guy. He should retire by now.
Tony Stark couldn't make Rigondao fucking exciting. I don't want to see that fucking guy again, right? He's had his chance, stunk the joint out, fucking disappeared, ain't seen him since, and now he wants to come back and resurrect his career at fucking 40 years old. I mean, what is it? No wonder. I mean, let's be real. I know the American economy's doing well and like unemployment's down, but half of them figures must be fucking 50-year-olds coming back to boxing.
That's what it is. Yeah.
You know what? I gotta go. I gotta go with Gonzalo though. I'm not excited to see Rigondao, but I'm curious to see what he's got left and whether he can make something happen at 118 or 122. Gonzalo, is that how you feel too?
Yeah, similar to Erislandi Lara, the old Cuban fighters. Well, Lara's getting older, but he's not regarded as an exciting fighter, but he's had some exciting fights. So we'll see if it's because the legs are gone. They got no option but to sit there and trade.
Yeah, that's what happened with Lara, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Lara was like that.
Yeah.
Lara only got everyone's going, oh, Lara's decided, he's got really exciting now. No, he hasn't. His legs are gone. He can't run no more. That's all it is.
If he could, he would.
Hey, you know what? Now that you mentioned Lara, though, I'm genuinely curious because I was rewatching. Because again, Canelo has improved so much. His defense, the fact that he's able to cut the ring off better a little bit more, or fight on the front foot more. Who did you guys think won the Lara Canelo fight?
I had Canelo Alvarez winning it by 2 rounds. I don't give guys belts for running on the back foot, pop shotting their way to a points win. It was a terrible performance from Lara. Yes, Canelo looked sloppy at times. The thing is, at the time, Canelo, he was nowhere near the fighter he is now. Canelo was he was struggling with these guys that added any sort of fucking footwork on the back foot. He just couldn't get Trout. I mean, he made Austin Trout look like fucking Tommy Hearns, didn't he? I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I think now he cuts off the ring a lot better. His counter punches a lot more. He just walks fighters down now, a lot smarter. But then he was still quite young and green, and he was flying in, weren't he? I think the body shots probably won him in the end because he wasn't landing with the head much. But at the time, his feet were so slow, and Lara just ran all night. So for me, Canelo Alvarez by 2 points. I don't give guys belts for performing like that. I don't care about the sweet science. Fuck the sweet science. Where's the sweet science got boxing right now? In the gutter. That's where it's got us.
Gonzalo, what about you?
I
man?
agree.
Yeah, it was a pretty close fight, but you can't really make so much of a compelling case for Lara because he just ran too much. So if it was like pretty even fight and Canelo got the decision, I can't complain as much as everybody has because they're making it seem like Lara got robbed, and it wasn't like that.
Yeah, that's true, man. You're right. I mean, it was
but that's the boxing world these days. I mean, someone wins by a round, and it's a robbery. I mean, the funny thing is, though, when you ask these guys, "Oh, fucking robbery, disgraceful." Oh, how did you have it? I had it 115, 113. I mean, that's not robbery, then, is it? 1 round.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
how pathetic boxing fans are. They just want to find a way to whine and moan about anything, and it's got quite distasteful. And every time you see a fight that's quite a decent fight, close fight, you're going to go switch onto the internet and there's going to be cry babies everywhere. And I just can't be done with it anymore. I really can't.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Especially close fights. Like, look, Gennady Golovkin against Daniel Jacobs. A lot of people said that Jacobs, no, he ran a lot. Okay, and he got dropped to the canvas. You can't say Jacobs won that fight either.
No,
I had Golovkin winning that fight as well. I can't, if I'm going by a criteria, I've got to stick with it, and that is if some guy goes on the run and tries to pop shot his way to a points win, he ain't getting the decision on my cards. I don't care who he is.
Well, you know what? I'm curious. I'm gonna go to the chat room here. I see Quag says he had it a draw. T-Tone says Lara didn't take nothing away from Canelo. Bay Area says Canelo won easy. Okay, I wouldn't say easy, Bay. Come on, man. Hawkers Mustang says sweet science means Floyd is very skittish. Quag says Canelo didn't do anything for the first 5 rounds. It was close.
It was close. It was very close because Canelo was dreadful. He was awful that night. But Lara was even worse. That was the problem.
By the way, Pete is saying, how are you guys going to give Fury the fight over Wilder and then say Canelo beat Lara easy because Lara didn't stand and hook off with him? Yeah, tell that to Bay Area, Pete, because we're not saying that, man. We're not saying that.
no,
but
man. Lara wasn't landing that shots like Fury was landing on Wilder.
That's the thing about Lara, though. He's a better puncher than people give him credit for, though. I mean, obviously he's not a. Yeah, obviously he's not a.
Let's be real. I mean, Canelo's he's a different animal altogether than the one that fought Lara.
Man, that fight was 6 years ago, man. Think about it. 6 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. 6 fucking years ago. And that's a long time in a boxing ring. You're talking. You're going from 23 to 29. Look at Canelo at 23, green as hell. Look what Floyd did to him. I mean, now look at him at 29, pound for pound number 1 in the world for me. So, that 6 years is a very long time, especially in the prime years of your life. Growing into a man makes a lot of difference as well. Very, very, very good fight, Canelo Alvarez. If you put Lara in there now, and then there'll be a dead Cuban on your hands.
Come on, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think right now, mentioning his prime, I think Canelo's gone good because of his dedication and the thing that he's learned how to manage pacing himself during the 12 rounds. If there was a stamina issue before, I don't want to talk about the clenbuterol or anything, but if he's known how to pace himself like a professional, because he developed as a professional, didn't have that many amateur fights. He's learned how to pace himself as a world champion.
Absolutely, man.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that's spot on, Gonzalo. He paces himself a lot better, picks his shots a lot better, and the way he tucks up behind that guard and stalks the fighters now, he's constantly got them on the back foot thinking, and you just don't have no time with him. And you make one mistake and you're asleep with him. You know, very, very dangerous fight, and I agree with that. I think it's that comes with experience, though.
Exactly, experience.
You know, it's also interesting though because I mean he's just. I'm curious to see who he's gonna fight next. Really, I hope it's somebody good. They say it might be Murata, and that would I think he's tailor made for Canelo, but at least he's a puncher, and it would be interesting while it lasts.
Murata's gonna get beat up badly.
Also, I'm happy.
Canelo's at the time. Canelo's at a stage of his career now where nothing but the top guys will do. Really, Murata. I don't care if it's in Japan. I don't care for that fight too. Let's be real. Callum Smith's a much better fighter. Golovkin again is a much better fight. There's so much. Billy Joe Saunders is a better fight for me. I know Billy Joe's quite boring, but people want to see it still. There's so many options for the guy, and he's picking Murata. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's a bit of I don't know what the heck is going on there. Also, before I wanted to say last night I was listening to the show, and El Dog, shout out to El Dog, was on the Discord, and he said that the Caleb Plant fight, he's going to be taking on Vincent Fagenboots. It's a German guy. Fagenboots, he's very basic, but again, basic doesn't necessarily mean bad. The guy's built like a tank. Again, I think Caleb Plant's going to be too fast and maybe a little bit too versatile for him, but Caleb Plant has to watch out, man, because he loves to fight with his hands down. And like El Dog said, he could potentially get caught there with something. So I was thinking exactly that as I was watching Fagenboots fight. So I'm looking forward to that one a little bit, just to see what Caleb Plant can do. And hopefully, if he wins, he takes on David Benavidez, and that would be the fight to determine really either the best or who fights Callum Smith for the best.
You just get that feeling Caleb Plant ain't gonna have that belt for too long. It's been a very tough ride for him, should we say? It's not like he's cruising these fights and looks levels above anyone. He's in there in the deep end, really. I think out of all the top guys, the champions, I think he's at the bottom, isn't he? For me, I don't think he's the top guy there. I think there's better guys than him. I just think it's a matter of time before someone takes his belt. I really do.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like undecided because I was impressed when he beat Uzcategui, how he was able to drop him twice, and I never expected him to be the fighter that he showed up to be that night. Now he had that fight against that Irish guy from I don't know. He's a professor from he's educated in Notre Dame, whatnot, and he blew that guy out of the water.
Hold on, who's sniffing coke? Who's sniffing coke in the background? I hear.
Yeah, there's somebody sniffing.
All right, sorry, Gonzalo. So you were saying you weren't impressed with who?
That's not me. It's not me. Before anyone says it's me.
Yeah, I was impressed with Caleb Plant. The version that showed up against Uzcategui, I never expected him to be that fighter. So he's a little better than what I thought. Now, can he maintain that or show us a different level? That's yet to be determined.
It's a good question. Yeah, it is a very good question. Because again, like Stu said, against Uzcategui, he didn't seem to get hit all that much until the end of the fight. And at the end of the fight, he took like about 4 shots, and all of a sudden his face looked like he went through a meat grinder. I mean, I don't think he's got the skin to. There's something wrong with him. I don't know. I also think maybe his endurance might not be. But again, I really love his footwork. I love his explosiveness. But we're gonna have to watch out and see what happens with him. It's not a given that he gets past this German guy. I mean, skills-wise, he's on another level. But this game is not just about skills; it's about toughness, it's about punching power, and who wants it more. So, that's really what I'm looking forward to. We also got Ryan Garcia, Inoue, like I said, coming up. I mean, finally, the boxing world is starting to take shape a little bit. This new schedule, and we'll see what happens. We still got Canelo that has to make a fight. We Triple G, some of the light heavyweights. We're still waiting to see what happens with those big names, but it's getting interesting, man. Shakur Stevenson versus Miguel Mariaga. That's an interesting little matchup right there too on ESPN in the month of March, I believe. So we'll keep an eye on all that. And Dorticos Brady's too. Just a good all-around shape right now. It's not the best
Like
fights.
Stevenson's that one Olympian, isn't he? That just taking their time with him. And usually Olympians get rushed, don't they? I mean, Lomachenko, Salido in his second fight. Look at Usyk's fought in first 10 fights. I mean, Shaka Stevenson, another easy ride for the American guy, isn't it? When this guy... Well, let's be real, it is, isn't it? You know, if Shaka Stevenson was from the fucking Ukraine or Belarus or something like that, he'd have been in there with the best already 5 fights ago. I mean, every time I see Shaka Stevenson fighting someone, I'm like, who's that guy? Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, come on, Marliaga.
Nah, I'm sick of that guy.
Marliaga
He should be fighting Warrington. He fighting Warrington or someone like that next. That's who he should be fighting.
Marliaga gave a prime Nicholas Walters a good 12 rounds. Shakur Stevenson also beat El Pitufo. What's his name? The Puerto Rican dude who was looking pretty good himself, and Shakur Stevenson just ran circles around him. I mean, look, for an Olympian, those are 2 pretty good wins. He's gonna step it up, I believe, this year or next year. Just watch out for that. But you are right, those two. It's sometimes with these Americans, they love to take their times with them. And it's the fans more than anything. It's some of the American fans, they love to hype up this prospect. Yeah. I think that's what the problem.
We'll just use an example, right? We'll just use an example. Deontay Wilder, bronze medalist at the Olympics. Fucking 40 fights before he... No, say 35 fights before he fought anyone with a fucking pulse, right? Joshua... Look who he's fought in 16 fights at the fucking fight Klitschko and people like that. You know, that's the difference. You know, and that's the problem with the American fighters. Very talented guys, but just because they're being looked after and fucking all these cherry picks going on, when they get put in there with the deep end,
right?
They struggle.
Well, listen,
not
guys.
all of them, of course, not all of them. There's some, like I said, but that's why you see a lot of Americans. Like you see them all the time, don't you? You getting hyped up and then they get fucking beat. It's happening all the time over there. All these young American fighters, I mean, they're getting bashed up left, right, and centre. So, no, they are, and that's the problem. That's my problem with them.
Well, look, listen, man.
It's
I mean,
nothing to do with race either. It's not nothing to do with race. Like I said, Anthony Joshua. I just mentioned Joshua, who he fought. He's black, and last time I looked. So it's nothing to do with race. It's just a culture thing. Like I said, we're very spoiled nation over here, but we're not as bad as over there. I mean, they're really entitled over there, aren't they? And they just don't want to do it. They want it the easy way. They don't seem to want to fight the best and work the hardest sort of thing anymore like they used to. That's why they're struggling.
Well, yeah, like
I was kind of sorry, BD. I was kind of surprised with Tank Davis's performance. I expected him to be more explosive, but he kind of like went away from that. I wonder if it has to do anything with Mayweather, if he's impressed upon him some type of style. Or I don't know, but that's why he kind of was like exciting to think of him, but I don't know anymore.
Listen, in the chat, sorry for changing the subject. I've got to get this guy. And where is he? Well, we've got Coco Ty. Americans are superior to the British fighters. Yeah, well, it didn't look like that when Wilder fought Fury. You had to rob us to get the fucking keep your belt, which wouldn't be the fucking first or the last you'll do it. Well, I want to see a comment. Where's he said? He said to me about Joshua's fighting UK bums, says Real Southpaw. I mean, let's go back and watch. Look at Joshua's resume. I mean, if I remember right, fucking Charles Martin was one of them bums you were talking about. Molina, another one of Americans, if I remember right. He fought Dillian White. He's fought some good guys, mate. Klitschko. Who was Wilder fighting in the 16th fight? I mean, you guys, man, embarrassing that you even trying to argue with me.
Well, listen, I mean, people really want to try to get at Stu, who's been going after. It's always been that war between Stu and the American fans because of the Kell Brook, what's it called?
Yeah,
Kell Spence.
That's the thing. I mean, and Coco, yes, the only man to beat Joshua is American, but what happened in the rematch?
Oh,
come on,
wait a
man.
minute. Wait a minute.
Like I said, you're bronze bomber. You know, the most dangerous man on the planet, the WBC champion, the American hero. Fucking had to rob us to keep his belt.
Well, he
a
says
fat guy that was on cocaine. A British fat guy on cocaine come over there and took his belt. We should have get out.
Coco says Andrew Ward's cool call Frudge in the Super 6. That was what, 9 years ago?
Andre Ward's Irish, man. Where do you think he got that toughness from? Where do you think he got that fucking toughness in the pocket from?
Yeah, he's half Irish. That's true. He's half Irish. Yeah, so and Stu's half Irish too, so he can claim Andre
Yeah,
Ward.
yeah. Andre Ward's closer to me than he is you. Get out of here.
All right, listen, fellas. Thank you again for joining us. We're gonna keep it short tonight because it is quite late. But it was just to get that that interview with Jose Benavidez. By the way, Gonzalo, thanks again, man, for setting that up, man. Really interesting to talk to him, and we'll try to get him back again, man. Because like I told him, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Jose once he gets going, and David when he's about to fight and stuff.
Yeah, but it sounds like he doesn't really have a lot of time off. Like he said, he wakes up at 6 and goes to or ends the day at 8. Apparently, I mean that's a tough schedule. But I mean, if he likes boxing, then he's probably enjoying himself immensely. So shout out to him. He's living the life. What else, man? So yeah, By the way, tomorrow, yeah, second Renaissance tomorrow. Second Rennie, as I like to call him. I'm gonna call him Second Rennie from now on. I don't care what anybody says. Second Rennie. And we're gonna discuss. It's gonna. You know what, Bucho? What if we do tomorrow for the second Renaissance some sort of like an open panel where, we let as many people as we can on the Discord. Maybe not a Royal Rumble like you did. Maybe not. Yeah, but yeah.
Sure.
Hey, Democrats are a bunch of douchebags.
Oh,
let me school this little fucking guy before I go, man. Quickly. What's his name? Fucking Code. Oh, Coco. I thought it was Cody in it. That's a geeky American name. Coco says, where America has more world champions than the United Kingdom, right?
Oh.
Let's for a start, just look at the size of the fucking place, right? Now, I'm not going to be here all day, but I want you to go and look, even Wikipedia, Box Rec, whatever you want to do. Go and look at your champions. Go and look who they took their titles. How many of them were vacated titles that they picked up? How many of them were two bums put in there to fight each other for and then the American hero waiting to pick off the scraps? Just go and look for yourself. How many of them were going up a division and getting fucking straight to number one spot for the title without even fighting? I mean, that's privilege. American privilege in the sport of boxing is coming to an end, mate, because privilege is not going to get you wins no more. Privilege is not going to stop. Yeah. Privilege is not going to stop you getting knocked the fuck out. Sorry. That's right. Your days of supremacy in the boxing ring are over. Right, finish up.
All right, that was it's too going old school. It's like it feels like it's 2017 again, man. Here with the U.S. versus England war going on.
Get mad. If they want to come at me, I'll come at that. I'll go at them.
That's right. All right. Anyway, listen, guys. Thank you again for joining us. It was really fantastic. Great show. Great little show tomorrow. Second Renaissance. We're gonna try to get an open panel or an open phone lines as well. We're gonna get to the bottom of these dreams, spirits, and demons. Are they real? When we go to sleep, are we venturing?
CERN. Let's talk about CERN. Yeah, absolutely. I trying to open portal or something.
No, Bucho. We're gonna leave CERN alone for that. I don't even know what you're talking about. CERN. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, listen. The point is, we're gonna talk about dreams, demonology. When we go to sleep, are we just receding into our subconscious, or are we going into another dimension where we're more open or prone?
There's the thing. The another dimension thing is another avenue I've been looking at, because I've obviously researched a little bit of this sort of stuff, and that's definitely an avenue that I've gone down, where it's another dimension. Because have you ever got deja vu? Where you've been there, but you just don't know when or how. And a lot of the time, it's been in your dream that you've been somewhere, and then you're there. And it's like deja vu sort of thing. I don't know, man. Very hard to explain. But,
yeah, it happens. It happened to me once when I was with a prostitute, and it turns out it was a guy. And I'm thinking, oh, deja vu. But I don't think deja vu when it happens to you 7 times. I don't think that's really deja vu. I think that's something else, man. All right.
That's your inner demon. Keep going back for more.
Yeah, that's true. A little BDA humor. All right, listen, fellas. Let's do a second Renaissance for tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., which should be about or Stu. I mean, you tell me, man, because you're and Gonzalo too. I mean, you guys.
That's fine. 5 o'clock your time is perfect for me.
Yeah, Gonzalo, you too. You're all right with that.
5:30 your time, whatever it is.
All right.
Yeah, I'm around.
You don't sound very confident in that, but all right.
No, I'm always here. This is my life in the Philippines. I really don't go out much.
All right.
Hey, BDA, on your channel, aren't you allowed to put fucking videos of like demonic things and ghosts and stuff. Are you allowed to put that stuff up? Because there's videos on YouTube where I'm not sure if they're real or not. I'd like to see, the guys to see and see what they think. But fucking if it is real, you'd shit your pants.
There's we can.
Did you see that video where the fucking police were chasing that car? And it just fucking ran. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see. I want to see it now.
The police was fucking following this car for ages. They just couldn't get close to this fucking car. Every time they got close to him, he kept pulling off. And they come into this field, and there was this fucking
yes.
There was his gates up. There was his gates up on this field. So they've got, he's gonna have to stop. He's gonna have to stop, right? So they get ready to get out. He goes fucking just straight through the gates, like not through him, like smashing through him, like a ghost would go through a gate. It went through, just carried on this fucking car, and it's on camera, and the cops sitting there shitting their pants. So I'd like to know if that's real or what the guys think about stuff like that, because it's very interesting to me. I'm a bit of a fucking weirdo. I like stuff like that.
A little bit,
yeah.
But
when people say that they heard through a medium, especially when they heard like their father, their grandfather or mother speak, that's really a demon, because in death there is no consciousness, and the demons, they know our history because they've been around for a long time, so they know our
Gonzalo. Gonzalo's got his spot on. When you go to one of them meetings, because they're all, have you seen them? You know, one of them people that speak to the spirits.
Yeah.
You go there because you want to speak to your dad that's been fucking dead 20 years or something, and you channel through her. They're fucking witches. They've opened up to demons.
The demons
it's
know
demonic
your father.
entities tricking you. It's demonic entities tricking you into believing that shit. Trust me.
Yeah, but the demons know your father, your grandfather, and way back, because they've been around for hundreds of years. So they know your relatives. That's how they can imitate their voice.
There's a woman on YouTube that said that she went into this haunted place where there was meant to be demonic things going on, and she reckons she actually brought it back to her house.
Jeez.
And because that's what you can do. When you start playing with the spirits and the spiritual world, demonic world, it's not like a house where you got a haunted house. You go in the house and recognise his granddad sitting at the window. You can just sell the fucking house, get out of it. But when it's a demon, they fucking follow you wherever you go. You can go to the moon and they can't sit there. Do you know what I mean? So it's a different sort of thing. Ghosts and demons is definitely a different sort of thing. But that's for another topic.
Yeah, you guys are scaring me with that, man. I don't know if I want to do that now, though. Now it's scaring me.
Well, you're a man of the Lord. You're a man of the Lord, so yeah, that stuff is a bit. But you know that stuff goes on. The fallen angels, you know all about that stuff.
Absolutely.
Lucifer's children, man.
Anyway, we'll do that tomorrow. Then Second Renaissance. It's going to be interesting to talk about all of that. I'm looking forward to it. Although now, like I said, I'm a little scared. But we'll get through it, man. We'll get through it. And by the way, if you want to play videos too, I can play them. At least I can play them for everybody on the Discord. But I don't know if I can put them up on the screen during the YouTube.
Depends on the video.
Yeah, it depends on the video.
Well, I think, like I said, a lot of these clips have been repeated by other channels. So I think you should be all right with them. It's only like the channels that copyright stuff, but you should be right with these clips. I'll get some together for you and send them to Butcho, and then you can have a look and put some clips together, because there's some fucking strange. Did you just one more thing about that Japanese woman that went into a place in Japan, a real haunted place, really old place, and she went in there with the camera, and they're in this dark place, and they've got into this corner, and this thing comes out with fucking, it weren't human, man, and this whatever it was, it looked demonic. The fucking eyes, everything, it made this noise. This fucking Japanese reporter, she was a reporter that, she screamed, ran out there. You could hear her fucking panicking. Well, apparently it fucking sent her off the rails, and she ended up in a nut house, still in there now. Shit like that, man. I could show you the video of that as well. Do you know what I mean?
I don't appreciate you referring to the Chinese as things. I mean, I know the Japanese don't like them, but I don't expect that from you.
It was Japanese, not the Jap. What do you call them things? I said this thing.
Well, you said.
I said this thing was there. I don't know what it was, but it looked demonic. And this girl, she saw it, and they tried to ask her what she saw, but she sort of was in so much shock. She's like, she couldn't speak. She just went off the rails. She's in a fucking nut house now. Still, she was a reporter that was living a good life. Do you know what I mean?
I'm getting scared now, man. Screw it. You know what? Let's cancel the Second Renaissance, man. I don't want to do it anymore if we're gonna talk about that. But Butcher, you can take over, man, if you want for that episode.
Yeah, sure.
But
sure.
All right, listen. Good
tomorrow.
show, great show. Really enjoyed it. Thank you again, guys. Everybody. I want to thank Stu and I want to thank Gonzalo, also Gonzalo, for brokering again that interview with Jose Benavidez Sr. Good questions, also great questions, also from the chat room. Thank you guys for joining us, and don't forget, check out Second Renaissance. Subscribe, like this one. Go over to BDA Live, by the way. BDA Live. That's where we're doing the film analysis for Fury versus Wilder. We already got about 2-3 videos up there, so go check that out if you got 10 minutes to. You don't have anything to do. Go watch those videos. Highly entertaining and interesting and informative. All right. So go check that out. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Second Renaissance, guys. Thanks.
One more thing, guys. I've got a video to show you of when Obama's doing a speech in the White House and there's someone that opens the curtain and you see it and you think, what the fuck is that? Because that don't look like a man to me or a woman. So that'll be another thing we show. But tune in to the Second Renaissance tomorrow. We're all going to be on it. Be good laugh.
That's right.
Yep.
So
See
thank you,
guys.
Gonzalo. Thank you, Stu. Thank you for joining us. I want to give a shout out to who else? Who do we have here in the chat room? Steven Schneiders, Alex Tancado, Tarvis the Chimp, Buddy Aces, Grievous, Steven Schneider, Michael Stott, Dubu, Hawker Mustang, Triple JJJ, Pink Panther, The Quags, Tony Toledo, Bay Area, Pete, G Boogie. Who else? Uncle Burnt Apostrophe, B Space, The Hans History Vault, Jerry Esquible, Dominique Brown. If I forgot anybody, Buddy Aces was in there as well. Stu was in there. Thank you guys for joining. Reality Voice was in there. Shout out to everybody. Grievous. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one. Second Renaissance tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Take it easy, and we will see you on the next one. Take it easy, fellas.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Totally.
Disappointed in everyone.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He's just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lomito! Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.